What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mark's Stock Review. Hope you all had a great week. This video is going to be on Electrameccanica, also known as Solo. I'm going to start off by going over very briefly a few things about their vehicles and their target consumers. But most importantly, I'm going to be reviewing the CEO's priority objectives that I'm going to be closely monitoring in the next several weeks. I'll be looking for any related news to quickly capitalize on any spikes in share price. And I'll finish up with a few headwinds and tailwinds and my price for entry points. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'll keep it short and sweet to respect your time. Let's get right into it. The Solo is their first and flagship vehicle and really the only vehicle that matters. It's for single use and they have 99% fewer parts than combustible engines, all being off the shelf, so that's going to make maintenance a whole lot easier. Target consumer is going to be urban commuters and fleet and delivery services. But here's what's important. It's going to be classified and registered as a motorcycle. Although it will be fully enclosed and will have many car-like features, including a 3-layer side impact protection. Only about 41 states allow the consumer to drive the Solo without a special motorcycle endorsement. That should be changing, however, that's something that investors need to keep track of. Seen here is going to be the Roadster, second to launch. It's going to be modernizing the classic car with an electric engine and up-to-date safety features. But from my point of view, it should not be considered as everything depends on the success of the Solo. And lastly, shown here is the Tofino, basically just a pencil drawing, so does not need to be considered anytime soon. But next up are the CEO's priority objectives for the Solo rollout strategy, which is very important. The first one being to open 6 more locations for the Drive Solo movement in the Western United States, quote unquote, just in time for the holidays, per CEO Paul Rivera. A quick reminder on the Drive Solo movement, it's a campaign to educate and persuade consumers to reconsider driving habits in which the Solo will be the ideal vehicle. The second priority objective is to finalize a manufacturing partner later this month. The CEO also has plans for building out their own mobile service, as well as working out local service agreements in areas of high density ownership, so look out for news of that as well. And the third priority objective is executing the first consumer deliveries early in the new year. They are quote unquote well on their way, end quote, per CEO Rivera. And for me, that means March at the latest, so I'm going to be monitoring this very closely. I'm going to quickly move on to some tailwinds. First, revenue growth of 50% year over year will continue attracting new investors. Second, their cash position increased by another $50 million from Q3. That's going to help with production ramp up and the US facility build out. And the last tailwind, likely stricter government fuel emission targets and more EV tax credits will be put in place in 2021. Moving on to the headwinds. The main headwind for me is that the Solo looks like a car, but classified as a motorcycle. And not all 50 states allow the vehicle to be driven without a motorcycle endorsement. Right now, that number is about 41, I believe, and as that number increases, it should serve as a catalyst. The next headwind is that the Solo is sold and advertised in shopping mall kiosks, so social distancing could slow mall foot traffic. And the last headwind is the Citron report, which I don't take them as seriously as I used to, but it is something to be aware of. And so that report, plus general election volatility and a recent bearish article written by Bloomberg, might push the share price below 8. And if that does occur, that'll be my entry point. My final take is that Solo has established themselves in a niche EV market and has a solid plan for expansion. And hence my viewpoint has really changed from a bearish view that I had a few months ago to a much more bullish view, especially long term, for Electrameccanica. One last thing, if anybody has any information on the CEO's priority objectives regarding the Solo's rollout, please leave it in the comment section below for everybody to see. That does it for Solo. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll be talking to you soon.